Have you ever felt like your own house was judging you? Imagine walking into your kitchen and seeing a pile of dirty dishes that feels like a mountain you can never climb. You stand there and you feel a heavy weight in your chest because you think those dishes say something bad about who you are as a person. Most of us go through life believing that if our floors are dusty or our laundry is not folded, it means we are lazy or failing at being adults. We live in a world that treats cleaning and cooking as a test of our character. We see images of perfect homes online and we feel a deep sense of shame when our own reality does not match those pictures. This shame makes us feel paralyzed and stuck in place. We end up sitting on the couch feeling bad about the mess, but we are too tired to move because the voice in our head is so mean. It tells us that we should be better and that we are not trying hard enough. But what if the way we think about chores is actually completely wrong? What if the mess in your room has nothing to do with your value as a human being? We are going to explore a new way of looking at the tasks of daily life that can unlock a level of creativity and peace you never thought possible. This is not just about cleaning tips, it is about changing the conversation you have with yourself in the mirror. We are going to look at why we feel so much guilt over simple things and how we can find genius solutions when we finally stop being our own worst enemies. On the surface, we believe that being a good person means having a tidy house. The surface concept is that care tasks like showering or washing the car are moral duties. We think that if we do them, we are winning at life, and if we do not do them, we are losing. We see a direct link between a clean sink and a clean soul. This surface view makes us think that we must follow the rules of how things should be done. For example, we think that a shower must involve standing under a stream of water for 10 minutes. We think a dinner must be a cooked meal served on a ceramic plate. On the surface, it seems like there is only one right way to be clean and one right way to be fed. When we cannot meet these standards, we feel like we are letting down our families or our society. We look at a messy bedroom and we see a list of failures instead of just seeing a room that has been lived in. This surface level of thinking creates a cycle of stress where the more we struggle, the harder it is to do the very things that would help us feel better. Behind this surface view of chores lies a hidden assumption that productivity is the measure of worth. We often assume that if we are not busy fixing and cleaning, then we do not deserve to rest or eat or feel comfortable. This hidden assumption suggests that we must earn our right to a sanitary environment through hard work. But the hidden truth is that you deserve to be clean and fed simply because you are alive. We assume that self-discipline must come from a place of toughness or being strict. However, the hidden reality is that true change usually comes from a place of self-compassion. We assume that if we let ourselves off the hook, we will never do anything again. But the hidden truth is that shame is a terrible fuel for action. It is like trying to drive a car with the parking brake on. We also assume that there is a moral hierarchy of tasks where some jobs are more important than others. The hidden reality is that care tasks are actually morally neutral. A pile of laundry is not a sin and a folded shirt is not a prayer. When we realize that these tasks do not have any moral weight, we can start to see them as functional tools instead of character tests. This leads us to a structural pattern of how we approach our daily lives. We see a pattern where people wait until they have the energy to do things the normal way, or they do nothing at all. This is an all-or-nothing structure that sets us up for failure. If we cannot do the dishes, we let them sit until they attract bugs. If we cannot cook a full meal, we skip eating entirely. This structural pattern creates a trap of perfectionism. We see it in how we treat our bodies and our spaces. We have a structure of rules about what is acceptable and what is not. For example, there is a structural belief that using paper plates is wasteful or lazy, even if it is the only way a person can manage to eat that day. This structure ignores the reality of mental health or physical exhaustion. It assumes that every person has the same amount of energy every single day. When we follow this rigid pattern, we miss out on the small steps that could actually make our lives easier. We need to reframe our entire perspective by realizing that care tasks are just ways to take care of our future selves. Instead of seeing a chore as something you have to do because you are bad, if you do not reframe it as a gift you are giving to yourself for tomorrow. Reframing the problem means looking for the functional goal instead of the traditional method. If the goal of a shower is to be clean, then using a baby wipe is a successful win. If the goal of a meal is to be fed, then eating a frozen snack on a paper plate is a perfect solution. We can reframe a messy room as a space that is simply waiting for a different kind of attention. This shift in perspective allows us to be creative. When you stop worrying about doing things the right way, you can find genius ways to solve problems. You might put your dirty plates in a sealed bag to stay sanitary even if you cannot leave your bed. You might realize that you can sit down while you fold clothes or listen to your favorite music while you scrub the floor. Reframing your life this way removes the heavy blanket of shame and lets you move at your own pace. It turns care tasks into a practice of kindness rather than a mountain of guilt. Applying this to your daily life starts with the way you talk to yourself when you see a mess. You can apply the idea of moral neutrality by saying out loud that my laundry does not make me a bad person. Apply this by looking for the smallest possible version of a task. If you cannot brush your teeth for 2 minutes, try doing it for 30 seconds. If you cannot clean the whole kitchen, just clear 1 square foot of the counter. You can apply the practice of self-compassion by giving yourself permission to use shortcuts. Buy the pre-cut vegetables or the paper towels if it helps you get through a hard week. Apply this by identifying the function of what you need. If you need a clean place to sleep, move the clutter to a chair instead of trying to organize the whole house. You can also apply this in how you treat others. When you see a friend struggling, do not offer them a lecture on organization, offer them a way to be fed without the work. By doing these things, you are training your brain to see solutions instead of obstacles. You are building a life that is sustainable because it is based on your real needs rather than an impossible ideal. As we go deeper into this, we realize that the way we treat our homes is a reflection of how we treat our souls. If we are constantly shouting at ourselves to be better, we will eventually run out of the strength to keep going. The world is often a loud and demanding place, and our homes should be the one place where we feel safe from judgment. This means being okay with things being imperfect. It means understanding that there will be days when the best you can do is just survive, and that is enough. The energy we spend on shame is energy we could be using to heal or to dream or to connect with the people we love. When we embrace the idea that we deserve to be clean and fed regardless of our productivity, we break a very old and very harmful cycle. We start to see that our value is not found in the bottom of a sink or the back of a closet. Our value is found in our ability to be kind to ourselves even when things are messy. This kindness is what actually gives us the power to eventually go back to the normal way of doing things when we are ready. But until then, the shortcuts are not just okay, they are acts of bravery. We are learning that being a better human is not about being a perfect machine. It is about being a compassionate friend to the person you see in the mirror every single morning. If you were to walk into your most messy room right now and look at it through the eyes of someone who loved you unconditionally, what is the one tiny thing you would do to make that space just a little bit kinder for yourself today?